So there, I said it. So this guy wrote this piece of garbage. Maybe someone reviewed it before he sent it out. Then it went to the journal. Like I said before, they usually have a triage editor who looks at it and says, okay, I guess we'll look at it. Then they send it out to 2 or 3 or more. For a small letter like this, they may have reviewed it in-house. This may have not been peer-reviewed, so to speak. But let's assume they peer-reviewed it, so it went to 3 people. Then it came back to their assistant editor. Maybe they have 2 assistant editors, and then it went to the chief editor, maybe. So this thing got filtered by the... I'm going to say this 2 different ways. This thing got thoroughly filtered from an editorial standpoint, okay? But all of the people who did the filtering were all indoctrinated and embedded within the medical paradigm. So one of the important things that I wanted to include in this commentary, which was said by Noam Chomsky many, many years ago, he said, in a sense, you don't have to intentionally indoctrinate people when they have gone through a rigorous training program like medical education. He said, you don't have to overtly indoctrinate them. He said, the process itself is the indoctrination. The hazing, the sleep deprivation, the constant intimidation, the big carrot at the end of this big stick. So to go through medical training, doctors go through a lot of abuse, but they know that on the other end of that abuse, they're going to have, a chance to pursue their careers and have a very broad career. I mean, medicine is arguably the broadest career that a person could have. Meaning that once a person has, a medical degree, they can teach, they can do research, they can open their own practice, they can work in a hospital, they can work in a community clinic. They have some level of instant, credibility, even in politics. I mean, you see medical doctors go into politics and, they are addressed by their titles. So, and sometimes that's appropriate, like a medical doctor could go into politics and then be in some, health and human services board or whatever. So anyway, doctors and medical students, and I know this from experience because I went through it myself, put up with a lot of abuse because at the end of that tunnel and running that gauntlet, they know it's going to be payoff. It's social payoff, it's financial payoff, it's occupational payoff. So, as I was saying, even though this article, let's assume it was peer-reviewed and vetted by the medical school as well, it's still all people in the same informational and intellectual bubble, which we call indoctrination. And I could detail that more, and I have detailed it more in other conversations, but I'll just leave it at that. So, anyway, this is part of the reason that I'm reviewing this. Number one, the topic itself is worthy of review, and I happen to be reading a lot about this right now, which is why I looked at this article today. But the other thing is this is an example of how anybody, all of you out in my audience, whether you're medical doctors or specialists or subspecialists or family practice or general internal medicine, or you're a health coach or you're a pharmacist or whatever. I mean, you could have any job or degree or no job and no degree. None of that matters for what I'm talking about right now. And that is, you all have to think critically. So as I already deflated the illusion around this, this is an article written by a medical physician who went through, 4 years of undergraduate, 4 years of graduate medical school. I'm presuming 3 years at least to become a psychiatrist, I believe. Most board certifications require at least 3 years of hospital training. And then in order to be, part of a faculty within a specialty division of a medical school, this person would have to have other credentials on top of that, other certifications, fellowships, probably some publications and all that. So again, my point is, this is, in a social sense, this is a high-level publication. Like, I'm sure this guy was very proud and probably got slapped on the back